So it's cool, honey. It's gonna Look at
So welcome to this afternoon's seminar, and I'd like to start with a land acknowledgement. So we respectfully acknowledge the island of Newfoundland as the ancestral homeland of the Mi'kmaq and Beothuk people. We recognize the Inuit, Nunatsiavut, and Nunatukovut, and the Innu of Sheshatshiu and Natwashish and their ancestors as the original people of Labrador. We strive for respectful partnerships with all the people of this province as we move forward and honor this beautiful land together. I'd also like to acknowledge the people of Nunavut and Nunatsiavut, in whose territories we were working on our cruise this summer. We were in the offshore marine territory, and but I'm particularly excited about developing and ongoing collaborations with both of those territorial or indigenous governments with regards to research and conservation in their waters. So before we get started, I have to tell a story. I apologize. We were on the ship, so Max and Barbara and I were on the ship with, as well as several of the students who are here in the room today. And we got back in the middle of August, and I was preparing supper in the kitchen the next day, and I heard the broadcast come on. And I thought, oh, I know I'm home. And then I thought, boy, I bet Janie would be interested in what we are doing. So we set up an interview with the fisheries broadcast, which Rahana mentioned in one of her classes. And because of that interview, I was asked to, well, would you like to present to the geography department about what we did this summer? So this is kind of a what I did with my summer talk. But it's more than that, as you will see. So it's a three-ring circus. So Barbara is going to present first, and then Max, and then I. And you will see a little bit of overlap between what we're doing and where we are pointing to what each of us are presenting about. But one of the most exciting aspects of working with ArcticNet, and Trevor can attest to this with his long experience with ArcticNet, is that it really is a collaborative network where it's not just people in their own silos doing their own projects, but really crossing disciplines, whether that's on board the ship or across the network, working even across science and social science disciplines. So now it's time for me to be quiet, and Barbara should start.
Please. Hi everyone, thank you so much for coming. Can you hear me well? I'll try to do this in my 15 minutes, it's being allocated for me. So as Evan mentioned, I'm Barbara. I'm a research scientist at the Department of Fisheries and Oceans in St. John's, and I'm also a MUN alumni. So I did my PhD here a few years ago. And I'm one of the lucky ones to continue working on what I love. And I really work a lot on cold water coral and sponge ecosystems in Newfoundland, Labrador, and also the Baffin Bay region. So this is the computer, right? Yeah.
No.
No?
Oh,
no, it's this one, right? Okay. So today, as Evan said, I'm gonna get started, and then Maxime will talk, and then Evan will talk after. So we did a little bit of a part 1, 2, and 3, and we'll see how we can connect those different parts. Just put a little snapshot of our cruise report that lists our principal investigators, and Maxime was our chief scientist, just as an acknowledgement of all the collaborators that participated in the preparation of the expedition this summer. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the exploring part. So the talk is about cold water coral and cold-seep ecosystems, exploring, finding them. And let's see, what do you find? So I don't know if all of you know, we have at least 70 different species of cold water coral in the Newfoundland region alone. And they are vulnerable. As you can see in these photos, very often we see corals attached to hard bottoms, to rocks or little pebbles or big boulders. Sometimes we see them on soft sediment, but they're vulnerable, they're fragile. If we knock one over, they are not gonna come back and begin growing again, they're gonna die. So they're fragile, they are very often long-lived, hundreds or thousands of years. They are slow growing. And when we're studying them, we've been more and more, with the international community looking for alternative methods to go and survey them, talking about cold water corals, but very often deep water corals. So we've been working a lot on getting access to deep water environments using cameras. So it's our seafloor imagery is one of our main tools of choice. And so today, we're going to talk a lot about that, about how we did the survey last summer that Evan was talking about, but I'm also going to go back to some of the past years